The official healthcare partner of UTSA Athletics, that is UT Health San Antonio. Welcome to the show, Jeff. How have you been since the Incarnate Word game, and how's this team doing health-wise and overall, getting ready for Colorado State this weekend?
Well, let's get the important things out of the way. Care Bear has a birthday in 2
right.
days, so we got to
Friday
all
night,
make
right?
sure that we honor Care Bear wherever she is. Devin, I hope you're paying attention to how you massage those kind of things, right? We're excited. I mean, we felt like we played good football all 3 weeks. We played 3 good teams, and but we were better this week than we have in the first 2. And a lot of things we emphasized showed up. We have a lot of respect for Coach Kilo and UIW and what those guys have done. And but whenever you play 3 straight Texas teams, all rivalries in their own way, it takes a lot out of your kids. And I was glad they get to have that taste of victory because it's escaped us those first 2 weeks.
When you play a team like Incarnate Word and you're supposed to win, in quotes, and the kind of the pressure's on you until the game's out of reach, and I thought you started the game really quickly. There was a sense of urgency, it seemed like, with the team. Getting an early turnover, getting good field position. The offense had good field position the whole game. And there was never a time in the game, I thought, where Incarnate Word felt like they could get back into it.
Our defense did a great job of setting the tone early. Whenever you get to play on a short field the whole night, which we did, it's just a lot easier. But, you know, they changed quarterbacks in the second half. And that young man came in. I wish Clint would have told me he was going to play 2 quarterbacks so we could prepare for the second one a little more. But he lit a fire under him, so we did have to kind of go answer. And our kids did a really good job, you know, of answering their touchdowns to keep the game. You know, to your point, when we went up 4 scores in the fourth, it pretty much was a wrap. But We've blown those bigger leads before, as I reminded my kids at halftime, so we weren't taking anything for granted.
Well, I've always said this. Coaches never think the game's over till there's zeros. It's like a baseball manager. It can be 12-0 in the 9th inning. Until that third out's made, the game's not over.
Or diehard fans that are older, that have been around a long time, that have witnessed crud like yourself, like this stuff can still happen. And we don't want to be on ESPN, you know, for being one of those gaffes, but it's happened to us once in our career since I've been here.
Robert Henry is repping number 3 quite well, and I know you talked to him about the importance of what Sincere McCormick standards were, but he's having a great start to the season, and 3 touches in the third quarter and 3 70-plus yard touchdowns.
Yeah, Robert's the leading rusher in the country. I know our offensive line takes great pride in that. We also know the other team knows that. So our wide receivers have really got to start showing up, and Owen McCuin's got to really start showing up. We're going to keep getting heavier boxes, which is going to create way more one-on-one matchups for our receivers. So as long as I've been here, I've told you we want to be a balanced football team, and our definition of balance is if they take away one, we can do the other. And last year we were not very balanced. We threw the ball very well. We didn't run it very well. This year we're running it very well, and I would say we've been efficient in the passing game. We have not had a big passing game yet, so we're still working towards that.
What makes Robert special, and what makes him like an NFL caliber back compared to other backs you've had, or just compared to the Robert that we saw the last couple of years?
Robert's trouble has always been, not trouble, too strong of a word. Robert's always been Robert's impediment. Robert had to get Robert out of the way. And now that he has got a lot of those off the field problems, not problems, just growing up, just growing up. And he's way more focused on the game. He really worked harder this offseason. His teammates have been very good for him. He was born with natural talent. He's always been fast. He's always been strong. He's always been physical. He just never has been a professional, and he's really turned into a professional in how he handles his business right now.
And his baby has a lot to do with that too, doesn't it?
Dante's made him grow up. He's being a really good father. I'm very proud of that. But it started in January. Robert, like many of our kids, had many opportunities to leave. He decided to stay. We've got 4 running backs starting in the country right now because they couldn't beat him out, so they all went other places. They're all starting as well. So we've done a great job with our running backs here.
All right, let's talk about getting the deep ball to A.J. Wilson. Yeah, that was one of the first times we saw the long pass. Offensive line gave Owen a lot of protection, and you've got those deep threats now with him. And when Jamel comes back, and as Willie McCoy turns to work back from his injuries.
Yeah, A.J.'s a long kid. He's fast. He has high character. He practices hard every day. You're going to see him continue to keep getting better. And really excited that A.J., the finish of the run was just as good as the run off and the catch. For him to be that strong to get in the end zone was very impressive.
Shad Banks on defense, play after play. Sometimes he lets other people make plays that he kind of instigates. We can see why he was a Big 12 player at TCU, and he's made a huge difference in that inside linebacker spot for you.
Yeah, Shad's a good example of somebody that's kind of lived that P4 exotic life, and he wanted to come be the guy instead of just be a guy. And he's the guy for us. I mean, he probably dropped the easiest interception he's ever going to have.
Yeah.
But the play he made where he covered the running back coming out on the flag route was pretty impressive, even though his run wasn't as impressive as his interception was.
Yeah, and that was on the double pass, too, so he didn't bite on that and was able to stay in coverage.
That was impressive. I could tell by the receiver's alignment they were fixing to run a double pass. And, boy, I was glad to see he matched that running back.
You gave a lot of credit to Incarnate Word's defensive coordinator, Jim Gush. What makes him such a special defensive coordinator? And you said wherever he's been, you know you're going to be in for a fight offensively going against his defense.
He understands offensive schemes. He knows what gives people trouble. He's got a small call sheet, and his kids can execute it. He's got a really good third down plan. I found him after the game, and I wanted to make sure and tell Jim that. I've had a lot of respect for him for a long time, and they were a pain in the rear end. We did hit some big runs on them, but we had to earn every yard we got on them.
All right, your defensive backs had a few plays where they made some mistakes, but overall they made some plays too, and I know that's something you guys have worked really hard on.
We had 3 plays we'd like to have back. I mean, we just literally dropped somebody on their sideline on a miscommunication on a call. On a motion, we did not communicate, and they got us into their boundary on their sideline again, and then they ran vertical switches versus cover 2, and our safety didn't do a very good job of getting over the top. All those kids are new, but we can't have a soft bed. They've got to grow up quickly, and we got 2 tough road games back-to-back. And one of them starts off this Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll talk about Colorado State coming up in just a little bit. UTSA fans, get ready for the Ensira punt for a pickup at every home game. stars who serve in our military as the official military appreciation sponsor of UTSA. And we have 2 stars, Jameian and Buxton, in just a bit. Right now we're going to visit with Devin McCuin. Welcome to the show. And you've been with us before, but how are you feeling going into Colorado State this weekend? How do you feel after 3 games in the season?
I feel really good.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good. Yeah, I feel good. I feel like the UIW game gave us a lot of confidence to go into Colorado State and go dominate. So that's what we plan to do.
You were a single-digit number last year, but you got number 1 this year, and that was J.T. Clark's number. So do you feel a little bit more responsibility that you're following in his footsteps in that single digit?
No, I don't think so. I just go out and try to be myself, just make plays when the ball comes to me. Coach Traylor, he teased with me that J2 will always be the best receiver at UTSA, so I'm kind of chasing him a little bit.
Well, he made a lot of catches on the slant, and you've made a lot of catches on that slant pattern the last few games. That's been open for you guys. Talk about that.
Yeah, we work a lot on man coverage, so, just one-on-one, just trying to win my matchup.
Your second time in your career that you had 2 touchdowns in a game against Incarnate Word. What did you see that got you in the end zone?
Honestly, that first touchdown, the big boys did all the work. I just ran in untouched. So in that second one, I just played fast and just followed my blocker. So that's all it was.
Jeff, Devin's from Jacksonville, and you're very familiar with that East Texas school. Talk about getting him here and making him the player that he is.
Yeah, we were very fortunate to get Devin from the very beginning. He could have gone to a lot of schools. Our relationship with his mother, father, he's got family members that I coached, was very instrumental in us getting him here. High IQ, high character, very soft-spoken but tough kid. I mean, he's the kind of, he's the quiet dog. I mean, he's not going to be barking. He does bark a little more in practice sometimes than I want him to, but his smile, he's that young dude that's just who you want your daughter to marry one day. He's just a really good human that's tougher than a boot and smart. He can do it all. And I'm a huge, huge fan of his. Thrilled he's in the number 1. Thrilled Owen's in the 2. Those 2 guys have worked their tails off to earn that. Really happy for all their success. And he's a guy you're going to root for your entire life. He's going to play at the next level. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to play and play for a while.
All right, Devin, talk about home, Jacksonville, mom and dad, and growing up and getting to have those accolades that Jeff just talked about, the character guy that you are.
Yeah, I bet they're watching right now, so what's up, Mom? but no, Jacksonville, it was a small town. We all knew everybody, so, I had a lot of support growing up from my parents and from the community. So it's just a blessing to come from that area.
Talk about wanting the toughness that Jeff talks about, the competition, wanting to beat the other guy. And sometimes that's innate, but you also can practice that and work at that as you go through your routines each week getting ready for games.
Yeah, I feel like my competitiveness comes from me being that little brother. I got 2 older brothers, so I've been competing with them my whole life. So, I always played up growing up. So I think they just come natural. Just trying to let my work just show itself.
Did they play sports?
They did. My brother plays at San Diego State. He's a safety, and my other brother, play basketball, football. He's just working right now. So.
All right. So what were the battles like when brothers would play pickup in the backyard or down the street somewhere?
Yeah, it was hectic. It was me, my brothers, my dad. Yeah, they made me cry a lot. So that's how I got tough.
And what was the recruiting process like for him, Jeff, to make sure that he came here and wanted to be a part of this culture?
I knew he wanted to. There's a lot of options for these kids. And he had them. He'll continue to have them. He's going to get hit up. There's going to be agents. There's going to be people in his parents' ear. It's just the new world we live in. For him to stay true and hold in here, it's just who he is. And it's what his people are. And I'm grateful. And I told all those guys that. I know they all had other options. And they chose to stay and play for me. And I take every day, and I've tried to do that anyway my entire life. I've tried to coach these kids like it's about to be my last day because you never know. I've not deviated from that. I'm just grateful that I get to coach them, and I want them to have success. And I bust my butt for him every day, and they know that. And he's a joy to coach, and I do not take him for granted.
Devin, what makes the culture at UTSA so special? Everybody talks about it. Everybody knows that it's something different than there is other places. What is it for you that makes you feel like you're home here?
I feel like it starts at the top with Coach Traylor. He's a great man, great coach. So just seeing him every single day and just being a role model for us, it just makes us want to go harder and do the right stuff.
And I mentioned this today, something I'm very proud of. My guys that have stayed here, they all left playing their absolute best ball. We get the most out of every one of them. When they leave us, they're the very best versions of themselves they can be. What will haunt me is JT did not get to finish because of his injury. Mm-hmm. Oscar Cardenas did not get to finish because of his injury. My big defensive lineman, Big Joe, did not get to finish because of his injury. Those kind of things are heavy on your heart. But if you look at my guys that have stayed the entire time, Sincere McCormick still playing in the National Football League, Josh Cephas in the National Football League, Leroy, we can go on and on and on and on, Rashad Wisdom. And these are those kind of kids. They stay here. They could have made more money somewhere else. But he going to make money from the NFL and wherever he decides to play next year, which I hope is for the Roadrunners, if he doesn't go to the National Football League.
All right.
Which if he does that, that's good
That's
too.
even better, yeah. All right, Devin, thanks so much. Best of luck this weekend and the rest of the season, and thanks for spending some time with us today.
Yes, sir.
Thanks Devin. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Devin McCuin. We'll hear from defensive lineman Jameian Buxton coming up. visit with Jameian Buxton on the defensive line. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
How you doing? Pretty good, sir.
Very good. Let's talk about that defensive line. You guys, none of you were starters per se last year, but most all of you played some, and you're kind of rotating in there. So tell me how you would grade yourself after 3 games.
After 3 games, I feel like I've been pretty good. I could say improvement for sure. There's always room for improvement, so there's a lot more room for improvement that we can.
Where'd you improve from last year to this year? What were you working on over the summer and into fall camp?
I feel like more of get-offs for sure. My strike, point of attack, and just shedding blocks quicker and getting to the running back faster.
The defense had 4 takeaways, and you guys got 4 sacks, so the defensive line gets some credit for that in the Incarnate Word game. What happened there? What was the key to getting all that success?
Coach Traylor and Coach Lepp, they preached all week about getting turnovers, getting to the quarterback, so they emphasized that the whole week, and we felt like that was going to be a big game for us to finally get after the quarterback and show what we can do.
The defensive line's got so many good players on it. It doesn't seem to matter who's out there. Somebody's going to make a play, and you guys are going to rotate because that's such a hard position to play.
Yes, sir. We play 3 at a time, so at any point in the game, we have backups that can almost do as the first group goes out, and they all do the same exact thing. So there's no group that has like no drop off, so we can all get to it.
Jeff, talk about Jameian and what he's meant to this defense and especially that defensive line.
Well, you asked Devin earlier about why our culture is so good. Where it starts is, I think, how we pick them. I mean, you know, Devin comes from really good people. His father, Bernard, his mother, Shonda, they're just good people. And Big Baby, I mean, his dad, James, his mom, Chandra, they're just good people. And he's from New Orleans, played at a good school in Warren Easton, and I'm down there at Mardi Gras back when Jordan was coaching for the Saints. And Big Baby was committed to us, and I just randomly took a chance. Like, I'm in New Orleans at Mardi Gras. Are you around? He's like, yes, sir. He said, where are you? And I told him this particular spot I was at. He said, walk out on the street and turn to your right, and I'll be 10 feet away from you. So the odds that him and I were right beside each other, we had a good time in Mardi Gras. That was a fun time.
That was kind of interesting. I guess being in New Orleans, you go to Mardi Gras, but what did you think of meeting up with your future coach there?
I don't know if he was tracking me or he thought I was tracking him. I don't know how that went.
How would you describe it? Were you tracking him or he tracking you?
Oh, I feel like it was meant to happen. It was meant to be, I would say.
All right, tell me about growing up in New Orleans. What was that like?
It's different for sure. It's a big difference from San Antonio, but it's a great place to live and a great culture to be a part of.
What was your?
Can I cut in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell them how good your mama and dad make their gumbo. Tell them how good that is.
Oh yeah, so last year we had a game versus Tulane for I think it was the day after Thanksgiving. So the night we flew down there, they provided gumbo for the whole team.
Whole team.
Yeah,
that's a lot of gumbo.
Yeah, everybody loved it.
It was so good. That might be why we turned the ball over 3 times. We might have been full.
So you grew up in New Orleans, and what made you want to come to San Antonio and UTSA? What was the catch there?
Just the culture was different. Coach Traylor, Coach Haynes, like it was everything you would want on a recruiting process. That they stayed connected, always contacted me, never showed a flaw, and it's been the same thing. It's been the same way since I've been here.
He's a joy. I mean, he's fun to coach every day. He's got a big personality. Now, the only thing I would criticize him on, I go visit with every one of my players every single day, and I'm a big knuckle bump guy. But Big Baby is a knuckle crush guy, and he's got me listed for probable Saturday because of knuckle injuries. Because every time I go give Big Baby a little knuckle bump, he likes to smoke my knuckles. So we got to work on his knuckle bump and tone it down a little bit.
Well, that's just sheer strength, isn't it?
It's just some big old hands of his hitting an old man.
All right, so you got the rest of this season coming up. What are obviously the goals? Are you want to win as many games, go to a bowl game, maybe the CFP, all that kind of stuff. But for the defense and trying to get better each and every game, how do you kind of work that into the plan?
I mean, well, it starts in practice each and every week. Perfect effort is one of the things that we preach and we harp on a lot. Being selfless for one another, everybody doing their 111. And I feel like with those 3 things, those 3 keys right there, like we have the keys and the people in the rooms to do that.
We're going to keep getting better. I've got some really good kids. They show up every day. They work, and it's been hot this week. It's been hot, and they've been out there just getting after it. We're going to be fine if we can stay healthy. And I don't mean perfectly healthy. That never happens. But we can avoid some serious injuries. We will continue to get better each week. And I still say this team, I don't know that we're the most talented team in the league, but I do know we have championship DNA about the way their fiber's made and how they conduct themselves.
And Jamie, how important is that for you? That fiber, that DNA that you just talked about, this team's together, even when you're making mistakes, you're correcting them as quickly as you can. That's got to pay off in the long run.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, when one person makes mistakes, we have a culture that, everybody just picks that person up and doesn't let that person fall behind and get too down on herself. So I feel like if we put that together as a team, that there's nothing that's too big, no dream is too big that we can't accomplish.
All right. Thanks so much for being out here. Best of luck against Colorado State.
Did we tell you what his nickname is?
Oh, yeah, Big Baby. Tell me about that.
Baby.
How'd that come about?
That started off from basketball, actually. Nobody out here thinks that I can hoop, but I can hoop. I'm one of the best hoopers out here. But, yeah, I was like the biggest one on the team. It just so happened that day I scored 40 points in total, so I want everybody to know that.
40 points,
yeah,
Big Baby.
40. So I was the biggest on the team, but I was also the youngest. So, like, one day you just started yelling out Big Baby. I used to hate it, but now it's supporting me, so I love it now.
There you go. Perfect.
Devin, how good are his hoop skills? He got some hoop skills?
Yeah.
Baby.
You got a 3-point shooter, or you got to play in the post?
I'll do it everything.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Thanks, Jameian, for being out here. Best of luck the rest of the way. That's Jameian Buxton with us out here. Colorado State. You're getting another team coming off a bye week. They were off last week. They lost to Washington and beat Northern Colorado. So what about playing a team coming off a bye week again and in their territory?
Well, it's a tremendous advantage for them. They're going to be more fresh. They can change up stuff. They're going to be healthy. So I got to talk to Dr. Compost. We got some bad luck going right now. And then obviously we get Temple, and they're coming off a bye. So that's 3 teams in a row.
Well, at least we get a bye before we play Temple, too.
Don't ruin my story, Andy. Never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Exactly. All right, you and Jay Norvell have a little bit of history and know him well when you were at Texas together and in the coaching circles.
Yeah, huge fan of Jay. When I was at Gilmer, he was the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma, him and Coach Heupel. And we sent a lot of kids to him to play. And we became close. Then when I got hired at the University of Texas, Jay and I came in there together. And we worked for Coach Strong. So we obviously got close there. Kerry was behind in Gilmer for a while. And Jay and I were in a hotel together for probably 6 months. I don't know how long it was. So we became really close during that time. And he became a head coach at Nevada pretty early. And he turned that place around. And then he's been at Colorado State now going on his 4th year. And has done a fantastic job. And they built a new stadium on campus. They set a new school record, last week with the school attendance as far as their students. Over 15,000 students showed up. That place will be rocking. It'll be a really great environment for our fans. It'll be a cool night, but it's going to be a great, great atmosphere.
We played there in 2016 before the stadium was built, but when you were at Arkansas, you were there, right?
It was awesome. We were one of the first teams to play in there, and they actually beat us at the University of Arkansas, which, that was a pretty terrible loss, but that place is rocking then, so I can imagine how much better it is now, 6 years later.
Let's talk about their offense and defense. What do they do so well offensively?
Their quarterback's out of Texas, state champion at Aledo. Braden's really accurate with the ball, moves around well. They bring in a kind of a off-schedule runner in 12 that's really hard to tackle. They do a lot of neat things with him. Their O-line, I would say, is as good as A&M's O-line. They're big, they're fast, they're physical. Their backs are physical. Very athletic at wide receiver. Guys run around and make plays. Defensively, they're just a nightmare to prepare for. They've got really good players. We think 40 is fantastic. 3 defensive linemen are all paying 55, 92, 56. The corner's really good out of Texas. Safety's active to the ball. And the way they play defense is just very different. It's going to be an exotic defense almost every time they line up. And obviously their special teams is very aggressive. The coordinator and I there known each other for a long time. He does a super job with their teams. They take a lot of pride in their work, and they play very, very hard. And they look like a Jay Norvell football team. They're very tough. They're physical. They play hard. And really happy for Jay's success. I just need him to let his buddy have a road victory.
I don't know if I'm the first to tell you this. I assume JJ or somebody else has told you. But you're a road favorite, and that hasn't happened for a while. So does that mean anything? Or I know that probably doesn't mean anything to you, but how do you get the noise out of the room knowing that some people think that you're the better team going into this game?
Well, you hope your home media like JJ and like Andy don't bring it up because Jay Norvell is filming this right now.
It's
and he's
live
gonna,
on the YouTube.
He's going to play it, to his team. And now I'm going to be in front of there, and they're going to make the words be, That stuff's all a bunch of nonsense. It doesn't make 2 hoots to a holler. We don't even talk about it. Only reason it gets brought up because my dear friend JJ and you like to bring that kind of nonsense up.
All right. How about altitude? Does that matter?
That does matter. Now, there's a good point, Andy. I like that one. We've talked about it. We've tried to stay hydrated. We try to get in front of this. 6,000 feet usually where it gives you, maybe some trouble. We're going to be at 6,033 feet. But when I was at Arkansas, we didn't have any trouble. And I think we'll be okay. We'll find out when we get there. And we play a lot of players. We play about 30 players on defense. We play 20 to 25 on offense. That's going to help us. We've got oxygen behind us, so we'll be ready to go there and trying to stay hydrated.
Yeah, Justin Burke said extra chapstick and make sure you hydrate.
Yeah, I didn't know about the extra chapstick. I appreciate that tip, Andy.
All right. Night game, long day. You're going to feed them twice, be in the hotel all day. That's a longer than normal day for coaches to sit around all day before you play.
Yeah, I mean, 9 o'clock kick. I guess that'll be 8 or 7 here.
It's 8:35 here is when we kick.
So 9:35 there. Yeah, that's going to be.
So it's 7:35 there. So it's an hour earlier there.
Yeah. Okay. So
You won't leave the hotel till 4:30 or 5.
I just go wherever Andrew or Mike tell me to and show up. So you can tell how much I've thought through that. Whatever it is, we're in the hotel a long time, and but we've got the day planned out. We'll keep them busy as much as possible. Let them get a nap. Keep them moving around when they get done with their nap. Get moving.
You have the bye week next week, so that helps a little bit, but you won't get home till wee hours of Sunday morning. So how does that affect your Sunday practice and then next week? Get better that you don't have to play next weekend.
Yeah, we'll give them Sunday off, and then Monday we'll be off a day the rest of the week. We got to go recruit. We got to take care of that this week as well. So it'll be a busy week, but yeah, I'll give them Sunday off.
We are in that calendar where you get 2 bye weeks. And this is the first one, and you've had 4 weeks of camp and 4 weeks of football, and now you get some rest. Is that the perfect scenario?
I think so. I really do. I couldn't have drawn it up better. It's coming right at the right time. You can tell we're getting banged up and tired. We need to find a way to get home on that plane with this one. It's a big game for us, and we're treating it that way, obviously, but we got to go get this one. And we know we're playing a great opponent, Coach Norvell and Colorado State.
All right, we had some NCAA news we'll ask Jeff about coming up, the plays of the game, and some players who played very well against Incarnate Word, all coming up in the next segment. Roadrunner fans, the excitement. Service, proud to serve San Antonio with trusted professional ambulance services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, obviously, Robert's 74-yard run was one of the big plays. What are some of the other plays in the game that you liked?
I thought AJ's big score was impressive. I think probably the play of the game was Shad Banks on the double pass. I think that made us all feel like, we were a lot better off. His recovery on the onside kick is always a big play because that means they've already scored once. So that was also a big play by Shadrack. So I would say all those plays were big plays.
All right, today the NCAA made a rule. There is only going to be one transfer portal window. It'll be January 2nd through the 11th. That's when players can enter the portal and decide if they want to go someplace else. No more spring after the spring game, and that was usually late April until around April 30th. Do you like what the NCAA decided today with the one window?
Well, I think it'll help just as far as what your roster is going to be. Last year we lost some very important positions late, and we didn't have a chance to fix it. That's not right to the teammates that decide to stay. And we're happy for those kids that they get to move on. But whenever you leave that late after spring ball, I just don't think that's right for your current team. So I'm glad they kind of got that fixed.
Last year, a lot of teams, UTSA was one of them, but a lot of teams stopped having spring games because all it did was put video out there that other teams could go poach. Do you think maybe we bring those back now that they can't leave after spring practice?
Yeah, everybody's going to play spring games. You mark my word. I'll be shocked if somebody doesn't play the spring game. I know the Roadrunners will be playing theirs.
All right, let's talk about Nana back on defense. Good to see him out there after 2 years getting back from injuries.
Yeah, he had 2 ACLs back-to-back. We were very, very slow with him this time back, but it's just good to see him out there. Cam Cooper's injury at that position made it a necessity for us to get Nana going, but we still tried to be slow with him. We still got him on a pitch count. That'll increase as the year goes on.
The pitch count, is that number of plays per game?
And in practice as well. We got to be smart with him.
All right, Kenny Yazawala, great story. Tell us about him and the contribution he's making on that D-line.
Yeah, I think Kenny has a chance to be one of our San Antonio legends. He's just a high character, high motor, comes from great people, great family. And our San Antonio kids, man, they do well. And the city does a really good job taking care of them. From Rashad Wisdom to Sincere McCormick, Frank Harris, Oscar Cardenas, Marcus Davenport. We could literally go on and on and on and on of the San Antonio great players we've had here. And I think he'll go down as one of those. I really think Kenny's built that way. I know his family loves watching him play, and we're sure glad he's on our team and getting to play.
Another guy that you put into the linebacker spot is Dan Munnerlin. Talk about where you got him and the contributions that he's making early on learning the defense.
It's actually Don, but we got Don this year.
Yeah.
He was a wide receiver, has not played much defensive end, but we thought it'd be a great chance for him to be long and fast off the edge. He's really bought into it. He's been fantastic. I think his best football's in front of him.
You rotate 9 guys, but from game to game, somebody else starts and somebody else doesn't. How do you decide who the 3 are going to be out there for the first play? Because usually by the 4th or 5th play, you've got a rotation going.
Yeah, it's just something I really believe in. I think it probably hurts us early in the year, but I think it helps us as the year goes on. Morale, health, but it's hard to get that many guys ready to play this early. And I'm sure y'all are tired of watching us struggle in September, but I think it's some of the secret to our success in October, November, and December. As far as who gets to play and how much, I let Coach Haynes kind of handle that, and that all goes through Coach Lepp. Obviously, I watch every practice, and I watch the games. And even you can, when you're watching the games, you can kind of tell who's showing up a little more than other guys. Sometimes, like if you're a nose guard, their stats might not be as good because they're always drawing a double team. But even then, we're letting the best one. We switched all that up last week. That was all different.
Yeah. All right, offensive line has been good this year and healthy with the exception of Vinley and a little bit with Corey. So give us an idea of how the offensive line is progressing and the opportunity to get Corey back in and maybe Vinley in a few weeks.
Yeah, getting Corey back was big. You'd like to get 6 guys you could play up there. Luke Lopez is getting closer. He got a few more snaps this week. He's pretty frustrated just because he's not coming along as fast as he wanted to, but, man, he had a real serious shoulder injury. So we expect all those guys to be rolling. Meach is having some good practices. That's somebody else you can see start to show up out there a little bit. And we're excited about that group. They've allowed 1 sack this season, have the leading rusher in the country. And I know Jay Norvell's hyping that up right now in Colorado State, but we're proud of our guys. He's got a great O-line. We like our O-line too.
Who had the idea to put the tush push into the UTSA offense?
Jordan was with the Saints, and when they made the switch and they hired Kellen Moore, and Kellen came to the Saints, Jordan talked to me about it quite a bit, and we just thought it would be a good addition. And so far, it's been very successful for us, and we'll continue to use it. We've got stuff off of it, but right now we're going to keep doing it until somebody stops us, and maybe if they stop us, we'll do something else.
You did it with Oscar in a different way in the past, and now you got a former quarterback in Patrick Overmeyer running it, so he gets to kind of relive his quarterback days.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I know Patrick really loves it, and our guys like it when Patrick goes out there.
All right, let's talk about the biggest room for improvement. Where do you think you've improved the most from the A&M game to now, and what's the next step?
Our defensive backs, they've got to continue to communicate, motion alerts, communication of checks in the back. That's it. We've got to get that down. Our D-line is going to really get tested this week. These guys run the ball very well. Jay's very committed to doing it, and they've got great skill to do it. So that's going to be we got to bow up front and see if we can hold on to these guys. And we got a lot of identifying D-line pressures. This DC does a fantastic job. And as I mentioned, their special teams coordinator does a great job as well.
All right, keys to the game.
Yeah, our defense got to hold up. And Jay's going to run 2 or 3 trick plays. They'll be wild. And we got to hold up on those as well. When they bring in the auxiliary running quarterback, we got to hold up to him. That's a lot to prepare for. Offensively, a lot of pressures they bring, lots of different ways they get home. Can we handle that? And then in the special teams, their special teams coordinator is super aggressive, and our kids have got to match his intensity. I know how hard he works and how hard he prepares, and we've got to match that intensity.
How hard is it for a defense to pay attention to those trick plays but still be aggressive and pursue, but hang on just in case they run one of those misdirection trick plays?
It's as old as dirt. Bill Belichick, do your job.
Yeah.
You've got to have eye discipline. You got to keep your eyes where they're supposed to be and not get distracted with all the eye candy in the back and get your eyes off of your target.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. We'll look forward to Saturday night in Colorado.
Thanks, Andy. God bless. Birds up.
All right. That's Jeff Traylor. That's tonight's Jeff Traylor Radio Show.